Ladies and gentlemen, it's the break of dawn in Washington DC as I speak to you today, this morning, after the big election night when we saw results come in thick and fast. The world knows today that Donald Trump has been declared the winner, and he is now going to be the 47th President of the United States of America. We at CVR English viewers have got the latest projections with us for you. Kamala Harris is stuck at 226 and now Donald Trump has finally crossed the 300 mark. He stands at 312. That's the number of electoral college votes that he has bagged. 312, that's way past the majority mark of 270 which needs to be achieved. And this time, the Trump campaign, the Trump Republican campaign was hoping anyway to cross the 300 mark, and they have done that now. It's been declared a quote-unquote historic comeback in American electoral and political history as quoted by his running mate and vice president to be J.D. Vance. And Donald Trump is certainly riding that wave, definitely. The world, the entire world, ladies and gentlemen, has been watching this election as closely as possible. Minute by minute, I would say in fact. We have all been telling you about the global media presence here, and capitals now, capitals across the globe have been tracking these election results in the USA, and now they are beginning to respond. And one of the first leaders to respond was our very own Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. He has worked multiple times. Now we must tell you, he has worked in the past with multiple US presidents, more than 10 years that he himself has been India's Prime Minister. The journey of collaboration with the United States of America with him started with Barack Obama, followed by Donald Trump himself, his first stint in power, then followed by Joe Biden, who's still the current sitting president of the US, and now Donald Trump once again, who's ready to take up the reins of power in the White House come January next year 2025 once again. So India is definitely hoping to continue the good run and to keep working with the next occupant of the White House. But for the rest of the world, it is probably not looking so good. For example, countries like Iran are now bracing for some impact now that Donald Trump has been elected the new 47th United States President. The Iranian currency, for example, Rial, has fallen to an all-time low. Tehran is saying that it does not matter to them who comes to power, and here in Washington DC, their relationship with America is not very healthy as things stand at the moment. And that is precisely because the Trump presidency will only mean more work for them. China, on the other hand, interestingly has also responded and has said that they hope for, and I'm quoting China, peaceful coexistence with Trump. Remember the trade war? Now very much that trade war tension looms over the American and the Chinese skies, and Donald Trump has got sweeping control. He's got a sweeping power with control over the Senate as well as the House of the Representatives. He can cut taxes if he wants to. He can impose tariffs as well if he wants to, and that, viewers, will have some economic repercussions, and we've seen that already hitting the global markets. The Asian currencies have taken a tumble. The European stocks are on the rise, and Tesla's share, interestingly, is now rising. They have in fact shot up, and that was only to be expected given the big bet that Elon Musk had made. Well, all of you know that while the campaigners were campaigning, the Republicans versus the Democrats, Elon Musk literally threw all his weight behind Donald Trump. He donated big money to the Trumpian Republican campaign. He was not the star campaigner as opposed to the Democratic campaign. He was a major donor in the Trump campaign. He went out of his way to support Trump through his social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter as well. And probably now it is time for him to rake in the benefits of that business investment. Because as we all know that Elon Musk, the owner of SpaceX, X as well as Tesla, happens to be first and foremost a world famous billionaire entrepreneur. So he is a businessman first and foremost, and now it is time for him to get the big return on his investment, the investment that he made into Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is now the 47th American president. We are also seeing reactions from across the board indeed. Erdogan, for instance, the Turkish president, congratulating Trump and calling him his quote-unquote friend. Interesting. This is rather interesting to note, viewers, because they have had a political relationship with America that has seen its ups and downs in the past. Things have not always been hunky-dory. Things have not always been solid and steadfast with the United States of America, including a famous letter that once Trump wrote to Erdogan, threatening him. And this letter was made public a few years ago. This was when the first time Trump was elected president in 2016. Zelensky on the other side has also written, and he has reminded the Trump campaign and the team of the recent meeting he had. The Ukrainian president is going to have to worry a little bit about what happens next in his war and whether Trump is going to cut the funding. Because I hope, viewers, you remember that Donald Trump, quote unquote, the candidate back in the recent times, had said during one of his speeches during his rallies that he is going to end the war within one day. Now we are waiting to see how he would do that, how he would achieve that. Netanyahu is definitely a happy man now, as he has had a good rapport with Donald Trump so far, and he has also tweeted his congratulations for both Donald and Melania Trump. Remember that he fired his defense minister day before yesterday. So a lot of churning, a lot of disturbance right now is going on in the West Asian region, the West Asia war as well. Hamas has also reacted interestingly, saying that their policy will now depend on Trump's approach to the Palestinians, will depend on how he treats the Palestinians. The Saudi king and the crown prince have also congratulated Donald Trump on his latest election victory. We've seen a lot of reactions from Europe as well, all the way from Emmanuel Macron to Giorgia Meloni, Viktor Orban, and of course Keir Starmer, the UK Prime Minister. All of them writing and tweeting in their congratulations and hoping that they will be able to work with Trump during his second stint in power in the White House. Now Trump is expected to double down on all his policies. I must say a bit of uncertainty there, but we have seen his performance in the office once. So we all believe that the world is better prepared for him, for his presidency, than it was back in 2016. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what Wednesday morning looked like in Washington DC, with Donald Trump being all set to take the reins of power once again in the White House. Watch this report.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He came in. And he's going to help make America healthy again.
Donald Trump has finally claimed his victory a second time during this year's presidential election, addressing his supporters with a message of powerful reassurance. During his victory speech, Trump declared, and I quote, "I won't let you down, America," signaling his commitment to fulfilling the promises that he had made during his campaign. Trump's statement has been met with excitement, of course, from all his supporters, all his Republican supporters, who are celebrating what they view as the most monumental political comeback in American political history, as well as American electoral history. As the former president prepares now to begin his next term come January next year, 2025, Trump emphasized that his focus would now be on restoring American greatness, bolstering the economy, and also ensuring national security. Viewers, I hope you remember that during the Republican presidential campaign, during all of Trump's speeches and his rallies, Trump mainly focused on two agendas. One was tariffs and the other one was immigration policies. So his focus is definitely going to be now on national security and making America secure by and large. His victory speech, in fact, reflects a tone of optimism and determination with a strong focus on uniting the whole country under his powerful leadership.
Like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He came in. And he's going to help make America healthy again. And now he's a great guy, and he really means it. He wants to do some things, and we're going to let him go to it. I just said, but Bobby, leave the oil to me. We have more liquid gold, oil and gas. We have more liquid gold than any country in the world, more than Saudi Arabia. We have more than Russia. Bobby, stay away from the liquid gold. Other than that, go have a good time, Bobby. We're going to be paying down debt. We're going to be reducing taxes. We can do things that nobody else can do. Nobody else is going to be able to do it. China doesn't have what we have. Nobody has what we have. But we have the greatest people also. Maybe that's the most important thing. This campaign has been so historic in so many ways. We've built the biggest, the broadest, the most unified coalition. They've never seen anything like it in all of American history. They've never seen it. Young and old, men and women, rural and urban. And we had them all helping us tonight, when you think. I mean, I was looking at it, I was watching it. They had some great analysis.
Donald Trump has made a significant stride in this year's election, securing victories in not just 4, like you thought, viewers, in all of the key 7 swing states. Yes, unlike the polls and unlike the opinion polls, unlike whatever people were predicting, like they were predicting that Kamala Harris had a strong hold like the last time, like the Democrats had when they were in power back in 2020, like Kamala Harris had a strong hold during early voting. Donald Trump would probably not have a very strong hold in the 7 swing states, like Kamala Harris would take a blue sweep across them. This is something which was being predicted by the opinion polls and the exit polls. But Trump has emerged as the winner against all odds. Trump has took over all the 7 swing states. He won in all 7 swing states. This strong performance has definitely boosted his morale, his enthusiasm and his momentum, and now the elections have come to the close. Winning these crucial, I repeat, all of these crucial swing states Winning all of these positions in all 7 swing states for Trump has been rather remarkable. And these swing states are always decisive in determining the overall outcome of the elections in the US. And this time, as you can see, the results are out. Trump has had a clean sweep across all 7 swing states. Trump has won pivotal battlegrounds, all 7 pivotal battlegrounds, and his success there reflects his broad appeal across diverse voter bases. And as the states continued to be counted, as the ballots continued to be counted, the results were quite clear. The picture became more and more clear as Trump was watching the results from his residence in Florida. And then finally, as we inched further and further into the night of November 5th, the results were out that Trump had had a clean sweep across all 7 swing states. Take a look at this.
It's approximately from the, can you imagine? 901 something, a lot of rallies. And it was sad. Everybody was sad. Many people, I said, this is our last rally. But now we're going on to something that's far more important, because the rallies were used for us to be put in this position where we can really help our country. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make our country better than it ever has been. And I said that many people have told me that God spared my life for a reason. And that reason was to save our country and to restore America to greatness. And now we are going to fulfill that mission together. We're going to fulfill that mission. The task before us will not be easy, but I will bring every ounce of energy, spirit, and fight that I have in my soul to the job that you've entrusted to me. This is a great job. There's no job like this. This is the most important job in the world. Just as I did in my first term, we had a great first term, a great first term. I will govern by a simple motto: promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises. Nothing will stop me from keeping my word to you, the people. We will make America safe, strong, prosperous, powerful, and free again. And I'm asking every citizen all across our land to join me.
America is Trump country again. He has pulled off the improbable, a political highest, if you will. Most polls had predicted a tight race. A lot of them gave an edge to Kamala Harris. But Donald Trump had the last laugh after all. He will be the 47th president of the United States of America. Let's look at the numbers first. The US has a total of 538 electoral college votes. You need 270 to become the president. And how many did Trump finally win? Well, like I told you before, more than 300. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris was stuck at 226, and it's not just about the number of votes, viewers. It's also about how Trump got them. Most polls said that the race would come down to the 7 swing states, the states that switch hands election to election. They swing from one side to the other, and guess what? Trump won all 7 of them, and nobody predicted that. All 7 swing states. We never believed that. So he retained the traditional Republican states, of course, and he captured the undecided ones as well. He also won the popular vote, which is basically the national vote share. Now let's give you the numbers again. Trump got more than 51%, while Kamala Harris got around 47%. Now this also, viewers, is unprecedented in American political history. For Donald Trump, even when he won back in 2016, he did not win the popular vote. Hillary Clinton did. It's something that the Democrats used to mock Trump about. But not this time anymore. Trump has won the popular vote this time, as well as the Electoral College. And in doing so, he has indeed scripted history in America. Only one US president has ever lost an election and then returned to win another term. And that person was Grover Cleveland. He was the 22nd as well as the 24th President of the United States, but that was back in the late 1800s. In recent times, the trends have been different. You lose one election, you disappear. You don't stay around to contest again. But Trump said, well, not so fast. He bided his time for more than 3 years. He built up a strong voting coalition. He ran a long and a reigning Republican campaign, and finally Trump won a second time. Well, hate him or like him, credit for that goes to him. Trump was watching the results live from his residence in Florida, and as the picture became more and more clear, he headed to a nearby convention center. The entire Trump team was there with him, his wife, his sons, his daughters-in-law, Elon Musk, even a few golfers, his golfer friends, and important podcasters. Everyone who pushed for Trump over the line, they were all present there. And in classic Trump style, he did not wait for mainstream media to call in the race. He declared it himself. But unlike the last time, must I say, this time it was fair. Trump spoke about sealing the borders and fixing the American economy. And in a rare move, he also called for American unity. Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, also spoke, the Vice President of America. He hailed Trump's political comeback as monumental. Trump also praised Elon Musk. Well, he has spent a lot of time talking about his recent rocket mission. It's quite a visual description which is being provided by Trump. And he also said that Musk was indeed the big star of his entire Republican campaign. Well, all in all, viewers, it was a typical Trumpian speech with the world famous, his signature Trumpian presidential power punch. A lot of hyperboles, a lot of warnings like he usually gives, and a lot of adjectives. On the other side, the scenes were completely different. Kamala Harris, on the other side, was at a college in Washington, D.C. and hundreds of her Democratic supporters had gathered there. At first, the mood was rather upbeat and a DJ was playing some music. But then as the night dragged on, the real picture started to become clear for the Democrats. And Kamala Harris then decided to cancel her voting day speech, and soon thereafter, the crowd also disappeared. In fact, the Democrats were totally silent. We haven't heard from any of their top leadership so far, viewers, and I believe you can see why. The Democrats did not just lose the White House, they are probably right now on track to lose the Congress as well. As you know that the Congress has got two chambers. In the Senate, 34 seats were up for grabs and the Republicans have flipped 2, meaning that their candidates have now unseated 2 Democratic senators. As a result, now the Republicans, they have a majority in the Senate. Their first since 2021. The other chamber happens to be the House of the Representatives. And this one is not clear yet. There are 435 seats in the House and the majority mark is 280. The Democrats are sitting at 182 and the Republicans are at 204. The remaining seats are yet to be declared. But you see, the interesting trend is still here. The Republicans could walk away with the White House, the Senate, as well as the House of the Representatives. So basically, it could become a clean sweep for Trump, which brings us to an important question. What will the era of Trump 2.0 look like? Well, first you have the formalities. The Electoral College will have to vote for Trump. Their vote will then have to be certified, and that too by the Kamala Harris Senate. And finally, Trump will take the oath of office. It's going to be a months-long process. The inauguration, viewers, will only happen on January 20th next year, that's 2025. And after that, he is going to be in charge. He is going to be in power. Now with Trump, you must consider 2 things, viewers. One is his temperament and the second is his policies. The temperament was bad last time, and we must accept the truth. He constantly clashed with American media. He refused to work with the members of the Congress, and his executive decisions were frequently challenged in American courts. Will we get to see a repeat of that same temperament, or will he now display the maturity of a one-time great president? His campaign speeches don't inspire much confidence, but let's see how it unfolds in the future. Secondly, his policies. Trump's big promise was drill baby drill, meaning he wants to expand the oil drilling in the US. That's his solution to inflation, to bring down the fuel prices. His other major promise is tariffs, a 10% tariff on all the goods imported into the US, a 60% tariff if it's from China. And experts say that this could trigger inflation into the country. But again, let's see how it goes as the future unfolds. And his third major promise is mass deportation of illegal immigrants. Trump plans to use a 1798 law to achieve this. But chances are there will be legal challenges to this, not to mention the statistical chaos across America. Let's see how the Trump 2.0 stint goes with the White House. Well, viewers, that brings us to the wrap of this special edition of Big Story. We shall come back once again at sharp 5:30 tomorrow once again with yet another compelling and persuasive story for all of you. Till then, keep watching CVR English for more news and updates.